When I first heard about The Woman King, I was intrigued. I mean, a film centered around a fierce female warrior? Count me in. But then I learned about Nanisca, the character played by Viola Davis, and I was hooked. Nanisca isn't just any warrior, she's a symbol of strength, resilience, and leadership. I found myself asking, how did a character like her come to life in a historical context that's often overlooked? Welcome back to Starstruck TV, your one and only source for film and TV commentaries, reviews, and recaps. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Now let's get into it. The historical context of Nanisca's time period. Nanisca's journey is not just about fighting battles. It's about fighting for identity, culture, and survival. As I watched her navigate the complexities of her world, I couldn't help but reflect on the broader implications of her story. What does it mean to be a woman in a position of power? Now, you all know I'm a big fan of movies and shows, but I also have a passion for helping people level up and reach their goals. So I wanted to take a moment to invite you to sign up for Be the Director of Your Life, a course that helps you flip the script and rewrite the story of your life. Check it out in the link below. I'll see you there. Now let's get back into the video. How does one balance personal ambition with the needs of their community? These questions lingered in my mind long after the credits rolled. It's fascinating how a character can spark such deep contemplation, don't you think? To really appreciate Nanisca's character, we need to dive into the historical backdrop of her time. The film is set in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, a period marked by significant upheaval in West Africa. The Dahomey Kingdom, where Nanisca hails from, was a powerful state known for its military prowess and unique social structures. But let's be real. This wasn't just a time of glory. The transatlantic slave trade was wreaking havoc on communities, and the Dahomey were caught in a complex web of alliances and conflicts. What's wild is that while many kingdoms were crumbling under external pressures, Dahomey was rising to prominence. They had an all-female military unit known as the Agojie, which is where Nanisca comes into play. Imagine being a woman in a society that not only allowed you to fight, but celebrated you for it. It's empowering to think about how these women defied societal norms and carved out their own identities in a male-dominated world. But it also makes me wonder, what sacrifices did they have to make to achieve that level of respect and power? Nanisca's role in the Dahomey Kingdom. Nanisca isn't just a warrior. She's a leader within the Dahomey Kingdom. Her role goes beyond swinging swords and leading troops into battle. She embodies the spirit of her people. As I learned more about her character, I realized that she represents the complexities of leadership, balancing strength with compassion, strategy with emotion. It's not just about being tough. It's about making tough decisions that affect the lives of many. In the film, we see her grappling with the weight of her responsibilities. She's not just fighting for herself, she's fighting for her sisters in arms and her entire kingdom. It's a heavy burden to bear, and I found myself relating to that feeling of wanting to protect those you love while also striving for your own goals. How often do we find ourselves in situations where we have to choose between personal desires and collective needs? Nanisca's struggles resonate on so many levels, making her character all the more relatable. The representation of Nanisca in The Woman King. When it comes to representation in film, The Woman King hits the nail on the head with Nanisca. Viola Davis brings such depth to the character that it's hard not to feel every emotion she portrays. From her fierce determination to her moments of vulnerability, Nanisca is multidimensional and real. It's refreshing to see a woman of color in a leading role who isn't just a sidekick or love interest, but a fully fleshed out character with her own agency. What struck me most was how the film doesn't shy away from showing the harsh realities of war and leadership. Nanisca faces betrayal, loss, and moral dilemmas that challenge her beliefs and values. It's not all glory and heroics. There are real stakes involved. This portrayal adds layers to her character that make her journey all the more compelling. Isn't it amazing how storytelling can illuminate the complexities of human experience? I found myself rooting for her, not just as a warrior, but as a person navigating life's challenges. Comparing Nanisca's portrayal in the film to historical records. Now, let's talk about how Nanisca stacks up against historical records. While The Woman King takes some creative liberties, because let's face it, it is still a Hollywood film, there are elements rooted in truth that are worth exploring. Historical accounts suggest that women warriors did exist in Dahomey, and they played significant roles in battles and governance. However, specific details about individual figures like Nanisca are sparse. It's interesting to consider how filmmakers balance historical accuracy with narrative needs. On one hand, we want authentic representations of history. On the other hand, we crave compelling stories that resonate with modern audiences. So does it matter if some aspects are dramatized? Personally, I think it can be beneficial if it sparks interest in learning more about real historical figures and events. After all, isn't that what storytelling is all about? Creating connections between past and present? The legacy of Nanisca in history. Nanisca's legacy extends beyond the film. She represents a broader narrative of female empowerment and resistance against oppression. While historical records may not provide exhaustive details about her life, her existence as a warrior leader challenges conventional narratives about women in history. It makes me think about how often women's contributions have been overlooked or minimized throughout time. In many ways, Nanisca serves as an inspiration for contemporary discussions around gender equality and representation. Her story encourages us to reflect on our own roles within our communities and how we can advocate for change. Isn't it empowering to think that someone like her could inspire future generations? Her legacy reminds us that strength comes in many forms and that leadership isn't confined to traditional norms. Debates and controversies surrounding Nanisca's character. Of course, with any historical figure brought to life on screen, there are bound to be debates and controversies. Some critics argue that The Woman King oversimplifies complex historical realities or romanticizes certain aspects of Dahomey's past. Others raise questions about the portrayal of slavery and its implications within the narrative. It's essential to engage with these discussions because they highlight how history is often interpreted through various lenses. I find it fascinating how films can ignite conversations about ethics, representation, and historical accuracy. While some may feel that artistic license detracts from authenticity, others argue that it opens up avenues for dialogue and exploration. So where do we draw the line between creative storytelling and factual representation? It's a tricky balance, but one worth examining as we navigate our understanding of history through modern media. Understanding Nanisca's historical accuracy in The Woman King. In wrapping up my thoughts on Nanisca from The Woman King, I can't help but feel grateful for characters like her who challenge our perceptions of history and gender roles. While there may be debates surrounding her portrayal, what remains clear is that she embodies resilience and strength in a way that resonates deeply with audiences today. The film serves as both an entertaining narrative and a catalyst for deeper exploration into the lives of women warriors who fought against adversity. Ultimately, understanding Nanisca's character requires us to look beyond the screen and engage with the historical context that shaped her world. It invites us to question our assumptions about history and consider how stories can empower us to reflect on our own lives. So next time you watch The Woman King, take a moment to appreciate not just the action, but also the rich tapestry of history woven into Nanisca's journey. Thanks for watching this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject, so leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.